Well, if you're working from home, you probably can make your own lunch. You could probably watch a bit more TV, which brings me to my story today, taking a closer look at that merger between LIV Golf and the PGA. Obviously, a lot of question marks right now about what this entity is going to look like. Also, a lot of question marks on those network partnerships, right, with ABC, ESPN, NBC. How are they going to feel being so closely tied to Saudis? But another larger story that I was thinking of is the appeal of golf, because we've seen across the board that a lot of these viewership numbers have been on the decline. Obviously, the numbers for LIV Golf are much worse compared to the PGA, but even viewership for that league has seen a decline, with the latest PGA championship pulling in its lowest viewership numbers since 2008. I spoke with an expert earlier about this, and he was saying that golf is a hard sport to attract watchers to, right? Because it's very expensive to play. It's an elitist sport. There's not a ton of diversity. It also has had trouble appealing to that younger demographic, that Gen Z that's used to those video games and other types of activities, maybe more action-driven sports like soccer. So it makes you wonder that as these networks pursue these sports, live sports contracts, if it's all sports or just certain sports that are the priority here.
I think my take on the LIV combination here and why it's probably a net good overall for the streamers would be what LIV Golf was trying to do, right? LIV Golf tried to be more bettable, I guess you could say, is sort of the word I'm going for there. They included teams, so you could sort of get used to teams. You could bet on teams. You could also bet on individuals. They let players wear shorts. They try to be a little bit more fun. They try to turn the event into a party. What part of that does PGA take and become a little bit more acceptable to the younger generation? I think is an interesting thing to watch here, because that's sort of what LIV was going for. And it's the small things that people did like about LIV Golf. Some people like the team atmosphere and like being able to bet on more than one thing. And then, of course, if you're a streamer and there's multiple things to bet on, there's more chance that I keep watching, right? If I can bet on more and more things. That's sort of how sports is developed.
I mean, I'm trying to think of all the sports that I watch, and I watch a lot of sports. I would not put golf at the top there, partly because I feel like it's not as fun to watch on TV.
But now you have more competition too, right? Part of the thing that golf was going through was they only had the 4 majors that everyone was playing in. Now you, in theory, could have everyone back on the same course again, so you have the world's best players all playing together again. That was a big narrative within golf. You also, we're all talking about golf a lot more than we have over the last year. And I think that
and
Netflix...
how much that translates into people actually going to
I don't know, but the Netflix documentary I think is going to be popular again. Full Swing was rolling cameras the other day as the drama played out. Maybe they get that Netflix effect. I just think the fact that we're even talking about golf, that I think a lot of people find generally boring, it's not bad.
Well, as someone we have in our household golf playing a lot on the weekends on the TV, it is a little bit hard to watch unless you are very into golf. I'm not one of those people, I don't really get so into every single swing, which is what the avid golfer wants to watch. So I think that there is just this barrier to entry, just given the fact that, one, it's so expensive. 2, a lot of people don't have time to play 18 holes, let alone 9 holes. So you have this problem that has always existed with golf. Now enter LIV, the Saudi exposure there. You'd have to think just in terms of the media rights, in terms of the brands that want exposure to the sport of golf, whether or not it's worth taking that risk, given the fact that the PGA Tour always wanted to distance itself, and usually did, from anything controversial, especially when it comes to political controversy. So now Saudi Arabia, obviously, as they have entered this space, it kind of changes the calculus a little bit in terms of the brands and the media rights.
I was just thinking about this when you were mentioning the Netflix show. I mean, sometimes it just takes one young personality to get people involved.
Well, that's
right?
the thing.
That's it. That's exactly it.
Big
so that's what they need.
They have Ricky Fowler. They could do a little bit more with
I think Ricky Fowler might not be the young personality anymore. But, I mean, maybe Will Zalatoris will come back.
He's a fun personality. Maybe not young enough, but fun.